Demon Slayer returns in grand style with its final arc, continuing its tradition of dazzling animations and rich, detailed storytelling about its character. Get ready because the upcoming epic battles are sure to set the internet on fire. How about revisiting some of the best fights in Kimetsu no Yaiba? Just a heads up, this video might contain spoilers for future battles. If that doesn't bother you, join me as we dive into the top 10 most incredible battles in Demon Slayer. 10. Tanjiro vs. Rui. This was a pivotal fight for our protagonist, where Tanjiro faced an enemy far stronger than he ever imagined. In this confrontation, Tanjiro had to defeat the demon not only to save his own life, but also his sister's. This battle was significant because it was the first time we saw the Crimson Blade in action along with the Hinakami Kagura, or Dance of the Fire God. We also witnessed Nezuko's Blood Demon Art Awakening, which was truly spectacular. Rui was so terrified of the Red Blade that he had to sever his own head to avoid being killed by Tanjiro. 9. Akaza vs. Rengoku. Here, we see just how terrifying an upper moon can be and the intensity of a fight between a Hashira and one of the 12 Kazuki. This fight was simply amazing, and many believe the anime amplified its grandeur with vibrant colors and an impactful soundtrack. However, in the manga, Rengoku barely managed to exchange blows with Akaza, mainly showcasing the colossal power difference between the Hashira and the upper moons, highlighting Akaza's overwhelming strength. 8. Mitsuri vs. Hantengu. This fight left me completely impressed, especially with Mitsuri's unique fighting style and her peculiar katana, which resembled a whip. Watching her withstand a close-range attack from Zohakuten was surprising, considering most Hashiras would have died instantly from such a blow. Mitsuri's fight choreography was spectacular, and her sword's reach, capable of cutting through all of Zohakuten's wooden dragons, was remarkable. Despite not achieving victory, the fight showcased Mitsuri's incredible strength, holding off an upper moon for almost the entire night. 7. Michiro vs. Gyako. Though this fight was relatively short, I really enjoyed it. Takedo started by losing the first round, giving the impression that it would follow the same path as the fight with Rengoku. But something unexpected happened. After escaping Gyako's water bubble, Takedo entered the second round with his Demon Slayer mark awakened. Without giving Gyako a chance, he severed the demon's neck. A surprising detail was that Takedo cut through Gyako's neck scales, as hard as diamonds, as if they were paper, along with the demon's neck. 6. Tenjin Uzui vs. Jutaro. This battle was long but perfectly built up. Unlike other fights, the way the demons were defeated here was unique. There was immense difficulty in simultaneously severing Daki and Jutaro's necks, bringing a sense of hopelessness for the Slayer's victory. However, Tenjin Uzui's confidence brought some comfort. Uzui was truly incredible in this fight. His ability to handle Jutaro's poisons demonstrated one of the greatest physical resistances in the series. This battle is one of the longest, lasting practically half a night. We saw complete despair when Uzui was seemingly killed. Inosuke was pierced through, Zenitsu was buried under rubble, and Tanjiro was on the brink of death at Jutaro's hand. But, with a surprising twist, everyone returned to the fight, with Tanjiro and Uzui giving their all to sever Jutaro's head, while Zenitsu and Inosuke did the same to Daki, thus eliminating Upper Moon 6. 5. Doma vs. Shinobu, Inosuke, and Kaneo. Now, we have one of the saddest and heaviest fights in the series. The three Slayers involved, Shinobu, Kaneo, and Inosuke, had personal vendettas against Upper Moon 2. Shinobu lost her sister to this demon, Kaneo lost all her sisters, her only family, and Inosuke had his mother taken by Doma, forcing him to live like an animal to survive. This fight is marked by strategy, where the three weakest Slayers in the Infinity Castle defeated one of the most powerful Upper Moons, without resorting to the Mark, the Transparent World, or the Red Blade, relying only on pure intelligence and determination. Sadly, we bid farewell to one of the series' most beloved characters in this fight. The end of this battle brings a sense of satisfaction and relief, as if all of Doma's victim souls can finally rest in peace. The expressions of sadness from Inosuke and Kaneo humanize these characters, showing that behind their appearances, they had deep and complex feelings. The way this fight tugs at our emotions is a prime example of narrative perfection. 4. Muzan vs. Demon Slayer Core. This is the final battle against the Demon King, a confrontation that would change the fate of everything and end an era. On one side, we have the Demon King showcasing all his abilities, and it's important to note that without Tamayo's intervention, the Slayers likely wouldn't have stood a chance against him. On the other side, we see the Slayers giving their all, willing to sacrifice themselves to defeat Muzan and completely change the world's fate. This intense battle lasted through the night, marked by despair, tension, and hope. In the end, the Slayers managed to defeat the Demon King, ending the era of demons. Without a doubt, this fight was sensational, but even as the final battle, I don't think it was the best, as some of the upcoming fights surpass it in intensity and significance. 3. Zenitsu vs. Kaigaku. To me, this fight is the third best in the series, because it showcases an impressive evolution of one of the most underestimated characters up to that point. Everyone thought Zenitsu was useless while awake, including his own comrade. With Jigoro's death and Kaigaku's transformation into a demon, Zenitsu underwent tremendous growth, evident in this confrontation. For the first time, Zenitsu fought while awake, channeling all his rage against someone he considered a brother. Zenitsu turned all his unseen effort into strength, developing his own thunder-breathing style, which proved not only the strongest but one of the most powerful in the series. With the 7th form, he defeated Kaigaku, someone who had grown up beside him like a brother. The seriousness, weight, and atmosphere of this fight, simply because Zenitsu was facing his greatest fear and overcoming it without hesitation, sent chills down anyone's spine. It's an incredible fight, short but nearly perfect in context and emotional weight. 2. Tanjiro and J vs. Akaza. This is the fight where J gave it his all. He defended against all of Akaza's attacks, awakened his mark, and fought hand-to-hand with Upper Moon 3, showing his determination and skill. Tanjiro, seeking to avenge Rengoku, also used all his strength, consciously awakening his Demon Slayer mark and reaching the transparent world. Impressive feats, especially for someone who, 2 years before, was just an unknown boy. What captivates me most about this fight is what happens after Tanjiro defeats Akaza. We see the story of Hakuji, the man Akaza was before becoming a demon. He begins to remember his past, the loss of everything he loved, and his surrender to the fate of becoming a demon. Akaza's story is one of the most heartbreaking, and we feel his pain deeply. We see his side of the story, and the way he transitions to the afterlife practically concludes everything he fought for. This fight stirs our emotions and creates a sympathy for Akaza that seemed impossible a few chapters earlier. For all these reasons, I found this fight incredible. It moves me deeply. 1. Gyomei, Sanemi, Muchiro, and Jinya vs. Kokushibo. Now we arrive at the indisputably best fight in the series, an epic confrontation against the strongest demon, the one considered closest to Muzan, and the best prepared and trained slayers in the series, Sanemi Gyomei, with support from Muchiro and Jinya. From start to finish, this fight maintains constant tension, as it's impossible to know who will survive. It seemed that no matter how hard everyone fought, defeating this demon would be impossible. Muchiro, the first to fall, returned at the end, changing the battle's course and showing his genius. Jinya, the weakest in that scenario, proved that even the weakest can protect the strongest, showing that no one deserves to fight alone. He also demonstrated that the younger brother can protect the older one. And what can we say about Sanemi? From start to finish, he fought with incredible ferocity, ending the battle practically unconscious. Finally, we saw Gyomei's abilities, a true monster, showing what someone at their peak can do against the strongest demon. This fight destabilized the entire Infinity Castle, determining that the Slayers organization could indeed win the war. The tension and anguish here are greater than in any other battle in the series. The Slayers emerge victorious, but at what cost? Sadness, relief, happiness, and sorrow mix, creating a storm of emotions. This fight is the pinnacle of the series, representing the peak of human strength against the peak of demon strength. So guys, what did you think of this ranking of the best fights? Leave your rankings in the comments, and I'll check them all. Is your ranking similar to mine? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, as we have countless theories, battles, and curiosities about the animes you love the most. To get this content, you need to be subscribed with the notification bell activated. See you in the next video.